Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am just going to give you a full update on where I'm at financially because I haven't filmed and done videos like that for a long time, and I just want to get you up to speed with where I'm at, and then I feel like I can continue with the videos that I was doing in the past. I know there's quite a few new people that have joined and subscribed to my channel, so welcome to those. And I think that you probably did subscribe based on the meal prepping videos that I put out, and I will do more of them again, some financial videos in between. I had hoped to film one of those cooking videos again, and I'm just going to update you on where I'm at the moment. I will just state this is a bit of a trigger warning because there is going to be talk of mental health, not mine. I will explain. So I have had to use quite a bit of my emergency fund because a family member of mine, and I won't go into any more details than that, had basically been suffering with their mental health. And the reason I'm actually explaining this is not only because I've had to use my emergency funds, but also some of the resources that we've been able to use may also be help to people, and I thought this might be useful information. So this person has got a slight physical disability but has never impacted their life, and it's not impacting their life in that way now, but the problem that I've had is trying to get help for them, because every time you go to a medical professional and try to get help, they focus on the physical side rather than the mental health side. So this person has done very well for themselves, bought a property, been saving their whole life, bought a property, was able to buy a second property which is now their residence, and has been able to rent out the first property that they purchased. But due to mental health problems in the last year, and this person was so careful with their money, I can't even explain to you how good they were. Always had like a backup emergency fund. Has now lost their job, isn't even in a place at the moment to get another job. Had lost their job, not for any fault of their own, nothing to do with the mental health, but I think has contributed to the mental health. Now, I gave them a safe space that they could come and get a breather from life in my home. The first day they didn't actually stay in my home. I didn't have any room at the time. Our spare room was literally chocker with where we've been storing things for the house renovation and things like that. So we put this person into a hotel on the first night. So that's where one of the expenses has come into. And I searched everywhere in our local area for the cheapest place I could find, and it actually ended up being a travel lodge that we put them in, which is, if you're aware of hotel costs, is fairly cheap. But on this particular day it was like £100, and I think sometimes their rooms can go for as little as like £35. So, but it was £100, and that came with a breakfast, and I arranged to pick that person up the following day. I had a hair appointment, so I'd arranged for my hairdresser to do their hair as well, and it's a male, so to trim facial hair, because they clearly hadn't been looking after themselves. Took this person to hospital because I wasn't sure whether it was mental health or maybe they had an infection that was causing the issues. So went there. They ended up staying in overnight and having some treatment that the hospital were able to, I think it's due to the Mental Health Act, were able to keep them in overnight. And then we had a plan basically after that. So the hospital sat down with myself and this person, and we discussed that they would be able to stay with me for the next week or two to get them into a GP in my local area temporarily, and they were then able to write to various creditors, because I had my concerns that this person was going to lose their property because I wasn't sure that they'd been paying their bills. Now, they then came out and stayed with me. I was able to sit with the person and contact a few of the utility providers, so like council tax we called, and I think it was the energy provider that we called. Please bear in mind that it was very difficult because this person was suffering mentally and didn't recognise that they were suffering mentally, and still doesn't, unfortunately. But that's kind of what I wanted to bring up, was if you are suffering mentally, there are so many facilities out there that we were pointed towards. I mean, that isn't like the main issue for them, but obviously like having the financial issues on top of their other mental health issues can weigh on you, can't it? So I just wanted to point out that if you are suffering, you can go to your GP and they can write a letter for you to your creditors if you are suffering, and the creditors have got an obligation to you as a customer to, do I word this? If you're deemed like a vulnerable person as a result of like your mental health, then they are meant to treat you slightly differently. So I was worried that this person was going to have their house repossessed, or at least the threat of it, and because they are renting out another house, they wouldn't be entitled to any help from the government, so there'd be no council house, and they're trying to sell their property at the moment anyway, so that they don't have so much financial burden on them, because I mean, I find it bad enough just trying to look after the one house, let alone juggle two properties. So, but if anyone is from the UK will know that selling a property in the UK, it doesn't happen just overnight. It can take months. And sorry, I'm sounding very vague, but the person's very private, so I'm only giving a little bit of info. And you know, it's their thing, so I'm just trying to be as generic as I can. I hope this is coming across okay. But yeah, I just wanted to point anyone that is struggling in that direction. You can go to your GP. There are loads and loads of charities out there. Citizens Advice is another good one. Step Change. I think there's some sort of there's a few different religious charities that you can go to. I definitely know there's Christians Against Poverty, so you could go to your local church if you're of that faith. I believe there are other faith groups that have their own charities that can help. Martin Lewis's Money Saving Expert has got loads of different advice, not advice, but has got loads of different points that he could post you to as well. So there is help out there, and you know, I sat with this person and helped them by contacting the providers. Sometimes that can feel a bit overwhelming, so if you've got someone in your family or friend circle that can help you with that, that is also a possibility. I mean, you still have to go through the security checks, but as soon as you've done that, you can give permission to hand the phone over to a trusted friend or family member that can speak on your behalf during the phone call, or you can write, they call it like a letter of authority. Now each provider will be slightly different with how they will process that. Some might accept a letter, some might accept a form, and that's best to ask. But if you don't feel like you can contact them yourself, you could write a letter to them and say, look, I give permission to speak to this person on my behalf. Now obviously there are things like power of attorney and things like that which take a long time to get put in place, but it is worth thinking about that. I think the government website has got that, and I think it's £120 to put a power of attorney in place. I mean, I haven't even got one yet myself. It is something that I'm thinking about. I just need to choose the right person that I feel would be able to manage my finances if I wasn't able to. But yeah, definitely something to think about. And if anyone is struggling, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to talk to you. Please don't sit there and suffer. I'm thinking if you've clicked on this video, you're probably in a position that you can, at least you feel like you can do things to help yourself. Don't suffer in silence. I mean, there's loads of other charities that, you know, you can just pick up the phone and talk to someone, like the Samaritans, for example. I mean, there's loads of different ones out there. It's not the end of the world. There are so many things that can happen, but burying your head in the sand doesn't help at all. And like I said, like if you don't feel like you can do it yourself, there are people out there that can help you. I mean, I think some of the debt charities can also help with that, contacting providers and things. I mean, they may charge you a small fee. I don't know anything about them, so I can't speak about any of those because I've never had any experience with them. But this is just what I've experienced in the last couple of weeks myself with my family member. So that's why I had so down to the mental health side of things, this person, I needed to make sure that they were eating properly. So obviously spent a bit more on food than I would have done. I don't want to go into too much about their situation, but I bought them some clothes, some toiletries, things like that. So I ended up, my emergency fund went down to something like £400 out of the £1,000 I had. But now I'm going to run through where I'm at as of May, beginning of May. So I have managed to top my emergency fund back up to £700. So my emergency fund, if you're not familiar, I keep that in my Lloyds account. There's a regular savings account. I think it pays something like 6.5%, and you can put £400 in each month. I didn't feel I had quite £400 to put in there this month. I may still revisit and put another £100 in. As I said, I've topped it up to £700, so I've only put £300 in this month, if that makes sense. I then have a few other sinking funds. So I have opened myself a Monzo account, and I have got a referral link which I will put in the video notes for Monzo. So if you do open an account using my link, we both get, I think the minimum payment is £10 that they'll pay out to both of us. I think up to £50, which is quite good, isn't it? Just for opening up an account. So Monzo has the ability to set up sinking funds or little pots. I think you can either set up spending pots or saving pots. So I've set up saving pots, and that does come with a little bit of interest. I think it's something like 2.65%. I've got the free account, not the paid one. So the interest, if you pay for the account, you get a slightly better interest rate. But I'm quite happy with the interest rate that it does pay on the sinking funds. And what I mean by sinking funds is things that you're going to need to pay for, maybe not immediately, but at some point in the future. And you'll see what I mean when I go through it. So my emergency fund obviously is like technically a sinking fund, but it's one that I can reach into as and when I need to. So it's in an easy access savings account. And I put it somewhere where it does attract quite a high interest rate. My goal is currently to have £1,000 in there, and then hopefully increase it to about 3 months worth of expenses eventually. But that's a long way in the future. So back to sinking funds and Monzo. So I have set up a fund for a new to me car. So my car is 10 years old. It is about to tick over 100,000 miles. Yeah, it's like 99,000 at the moment. My little service book only goes up to 120,000 miles, so I don't really expect it to last much beyond that. I'm hoping that it will last me at least this year, because I don't feel I'm in a position right now to buy a new car. And I don't mean like a brand new car, I mean it's like a new to me car, which is what I've called the fund. And that has got £316 and 5 pence in it. I'm not sure how much I need. I'm not sure how much I could potentially sell my current car for. I mean, like I said, it's a 10-year-old car. I've had it since it was brand new. I purchased it with my ex-partner through finance at the time, and it is a car that had quite a long warranty on it. So when we split up, the car was around 4 years old, and we had either agreed to sell the car and split the money, or I buy it off him for what we felt the value of the car, for half the value of the car. And at the time we felt it was worth about £7,000, so I paid £3,500 for the car. And that was a 4-year-old car, and I thought I couldn't get anything for that money that was equivalent at the time. And what I want is a slightly bigger car in the future when I do get one. Slightly bigger engine, because the car that I've got, it would be classed as like a city car. It's tiny, tiny engine. I mean, it's got it's a 5-door car, so you can get, if we are lucky enough one day to have children, you can get a car seat in it. I can make do with it, don't get me wrong, but I know that at some point it's going to give up on me and I will need to buy something new. So the whole point in that sinking fund is to add to it little and often, so eventually when I'm at the position to buy the car, I can. My next sinking fund is the bathroom sinking funds. If you've been here a while, you'll know that I am desperate to have my bathroom redone. You'll know that I purchased a sink vanity unit and a mirror around Christmas time. So I've already got that, and that is now back in my spare room for the moment. And I think I need about £2,000. I think the bath's about £500 and the toilet is about £100. So there's that, and then flooring, tiles, and we want to get the ceiling plastered, and I'm hoping about £2,000 will do it. And then maybe an additional £1,000 because we've got the immersion heater, and I know from having our house survey done before buying the house that needs replacing, because it's as old as the house, that's 33 years old, and I think we're lucky that it's made it this far. So potentially £3,000. So I'm 10% of the way there. My next one is home insurance, and I've got £50 and 14 pence. So last time I renewed my home insurance, it was around £60-ish. That is because I have a shared ownership property, so I only have to pay for contents insurance, because the buildings insurance side of it is covered through my rental payment to the housing association. With Monzo, I have also set up a penny challenge, so it's something that you can set up with the account, and they will take so that's why this is why it's called the penny challenge. So it'll be a penny on day 1, 2p on day 2, 3p on day 3, and obviously for a 12-month period. So on the 365th day, they'll take £3.65. Does that make sense? And it's something that happens every single day. You can pause it, and then you can also arrange to make a payment to catch up if you've paused it. And my penny challenge currently stands at £43 and 71 pence. I am really hoping that I can do it the whole year, or I may pause it in December and then catch up in January, because when I started it, I think I started it at the end of January, so mine will run until the end of January. Does that make sense? So I imagine I'll be pausing it around December time, because that's going to be big amounts going in at that point. If you're paying £3.65 in a day, that's a lot. And actually Sharon, living on a low income UK, has got a short, and I go to it every single month, because she's got a short that tells you how much you need for each month. So I make sure I've got that amount in the account, so that the pennies can be taken and put into the pot. And then I have got a beauty pot, and this one I have been dipping into for other things, but I've called it beauty, and it's currently got £20 and 14 pence. And then finally, I have got a savings account with Nationwide, and this is one of the savings accounts that you need to be able to get the bonus that they give out. Well, they have been giving it out for the past 3 years, I think. and I think you need to have a certain amount in there. And I've currently got £430 and 48 pence, and that one pays quite a bit of interest. I think it's something like 6.25%, but you can only make 3 withdrawals in a year, which is why my emergency fund isn't in there. And I use this one for car insurance, so I think I need roughly £500 for car insurance, so I'm nearly there. And then anything extra I roll over to the next year. So that's my sinking funds. Next I'll move on to my investments. So I have got a lifetime ISA, which I have stopped for the moment paying into. I believe they're meant to be changing the lifetime ISA. So I'm already a property owner, so I could only use this for retirement. And at the moment, I could only withdraw it once I hit the age of 60. I think they stop you paying in when you hit 50. So I've got another 15 years to go that I can carry on paying into. And then when I'm 60, I could take it out. And the idea of it was that it was meant to bridge the gap between me being able to take, I can take my personal pension at currently about 57, age 57. But then my defined benefit pension can be taken, I think, at age 65. So the idea of me setting this ISA up was to sort of bridge the gap between that. But I mean, I've currently got £607 and 12 pence in that, and that's a money box. And that is in a stocks and shares lifetime ISA. You can get cash lifetime ISAs, but I wanted to invest it and see it grow. And I haven't invested anything for a while. And yeah, it has grown without me adding to it. I also have a personal pension with Interactive Investor. So if you've been here for a while, you'll know that I did a transfer from Moneybox, and it's called an in specie transfer from Moneybox to Interactive Investor. So I was able to get cashback through the Top Cashback website, and Interactive Investor have a promotion on, or they did at the time, where if you open an account or transfer, I think it's a minimum of £5,000 to them, and that can be made up of investments, pensions, cash to them, they would give you £200. So I will put the link, my referral link to them, in the notes, because they do have that on if you refer a friend, where I think your subscription to them is free. So I pay £5.99, and I think they pay you £200 for the referral. I've had them for a few months now, and my value is £33,325 and 48 pence. So I pay £5.99 for the fee, so that's £5.99 a month, which did work out slightly cheaper than the Moneybox pension. However, I have to pay it from my account rather than Moneybox was taking the fee from my investment. So it is a different way of paying. And then I also invest £25 a month, which is the minimum that you can set up a direct debit for, to Interactive Investor. But if you've been here a while, you'll know that I had a goal last year to hit 30,000 for my pension, and so I'm really pleased that it's at that value now. And don't get me wrong, it does go up and down, as of all investments, and I must stress that none of this is financial advice. This is just my own personal pension that I'm just telling you about, not advice whatsoever. Obviously do your own research. And it has dipped, but it hasn't actually dipped below the 30,000, which I was shocked at because we did have quite a big dip at one point, but it seems to have gone back up, so really pleased with that. And then finally, I've got my Trading 212 account, Stocks and Shares ISA, and I will do a separate video. I'll do a separate video on the pension, so you'll know where that's invested, but my Trading 212 account, I will do a separate video about that. I will incorporate them both together, probably into a video, but I can tell you that the value is currently £1,111 and 58 pence. And I haven't been able to invest as regularly with them because, you know, the situation that I've been dealing with. I think this month I've put in something like £20, so really small amounts, but I had in the past been putting £100 in each month. So yeah, that's where we're at, and yeah, stay tuned, there will be a video detailing what it's invested in, the dividends that I've had, and how much I've put in myself, so you can see how much it has grown. You'll know that if you've been here a while that I do have a small amount of debt. I can't remember what my debt value was at. I think it must have been in the 3,000s when I did my last video. And I have set myself a minimum payment that I'd like to pay, about 250-ish a month, and that ensures that the debt stays at 0% and I will meet the 0% cut off. So when I did a transfer to a Barclay card, it had at the time 0% on the transfer fee and 0% interest on the balance up until March next year. So yeah, £250 roughly that I'm trying to pay each month at least to get this down. And the current balance is £2,460, so I'm well on my way to getting it down. And I think in the past I've mentioned to you about different things that I have done to get that balance down. So you'll know that I use an app called Everup to do my food shopping. I mean, you can do, it's more than just food shopping. There's loads of different retailers on there. But it will give you a cashback if you buy a gift card through them. So I shop at Aldi and Morrison's mostly. Aldi doesn't really pay cashback. It gives you tokens, I think it is, or coins. And then on the coins you can, once you've got a certain amount of coins, you can spin a wheel and then that will give you money back. So that's the only way I've found to get money back from Aldi using my shopping, is through the Everup app. I used to use Jam Donut and I haven't used it in probably about a year now. They used to give cash back for Aldi, but then they stopped, and then they did prize draws and I just found I wasn't winning. But at least with Everup, you do get, when you do the spin to win on one of the challenges, you do get some money, even if it's like pennies. It's something I found at the end of the day. So yeah, I've currently got a balance of £46.84. I'm trying to save that one up without touching it. I want it to be a decent amount, and then I might use that to pay down more debt. Top Cashback. So I think last time I spoke to you about Top Cashback, I had opened some savings accounts with Kahoot. I'd done the interactive investor transfer and I've had all the money back from that now, and that has also helped me pay off some of the credit card. I don't believe Kahoot is still one of the options on Top Cashback, but it's worth looking. So when I did it, it was if you opened an account, you got and you only had to put you only had to put £1 in to the savings account. You got, I think it was £50 cashback. There was two savings accounts, and you got £25 per account, so £50 in total cashback. And an interactive investor, when I transferred to them, I think I got £95 cashback from them through Top Cashback, as well as I got like the interactive investor setting up an account. I had £200 directly from them, which I will talk about more in a future video. But I have cashed out a lot of my cashback now, and my balance on Top Cashback is now £11.45, and that's pending, so there's a few things that are still to be made payable, but I use it all the time. So I buy my cat food through a company called Zoo Plus, and they're on Top Cashback. If I ever buy any makeup, I tend to buy it through Look Fantastic, which are on, or skincare, which are on Top Cashback. There's loads of different retailers on there that you may find useful, and I will put my referral link in the video notes. I also use Airtime Rewards, and I've currently got a balance of £4.38. Have to have a minimum of £5 to be able to redeem, so I'm just waiting for that to be up to that amount. It's kind of like a passive one, so you connect your bank account to it, and every time you shop in certain retailers, you'll get some cash back. And as you can see, it soon adds up. So I'm close to the £5. I also use an app called OnePulse. It's a survey site, and you basically build experience and your money by doing more and more surveys. So once you've hit a certain level, you get more money. So at the moment, for every survey that I do that gets a payment, I get 23 pence per survey. And I mean, it can literally be like 3 questions, and I probably get notified about 10 times a day that there's a survey for me that is payable. And then you can do surveys that just cost experience. The more experience you build, the higher your level, and then the more money you earn through surveys. I hope that makes sense. I do have a referral link for them, so I'll put that in the notes. I have got an app that I use, which is another survey one, which is called Viper, which is VYPR. And again, it's just like a survey site, but it is literally just 1 or 2 questions. And it'll be different subjects. And I'm 80% of the way there to being able to redeem my next amount. I think it's £5 that you get. It's a bit of a slow burner, but you know, it's an extra £5. And then finally, I use an app called Free Cash, and I do have a referral link for that, and I'll put that in the notes. So Free Cash is basically, it does do surveys, but I mostly play games. So you download a game, and once you hit a certain level on a game, or once you've played it for a certain amount of time, it will pay you back some cash back. So my current balance is £25.95, and then I've got an additional £4.85 pending, so where the game has paid me some money, but it sits for about, I think it's 5 to 7 days before it's made payable to you. So I'll have another £30. So in total I'll have £30 that I will be able to withdraw from there. And you can withdraw it to, I think, PayPal. There's some other things on there, like I think it's like Google Play, other things that I just wouldn't even look at. And I think there's some crypto on there, which again I wouldn't look at. I'd rather have it paid to my PayPal when then it's money in my pocket, isn't it? But yeah, that's it. I think we're up to date on all my finances. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I will put all the links to all the referrals in the video notes. If you found it helpful, please do leave me a comment. And yeah, I'll see you again for my next one. I think the next video I'll do will be about my investments, so trading 212, and about my pension. So if you find that useful, please subscribe, and there will be more food challenge videos coming soon. Okay, see you soon. Bye.